And we are live.
Hello. Welcome back
Oh,
to the
oh,
second episode of
maybe,
CartyCast.
maybe we step away from the microphone a bit there. That sounded bad.
How's this?
Welcome to the second and last episode of the CartyCast. We will never be able to make this again.
Episode 2, and you
I
dumb
always
sons
knew
of
you would be
bitches
the
have
one to
come
bring.
back.
I always knew you'd be the one to bring it down.
I always knew my own son would accuse me of bringing this down.
I should be bringing my talents elsewhere.
You have talent?
You have talent?
No, but I don't lie.
You got me there. Whoa.
Alrighty.
This is episode 2. Can you believe we actually had this kind of commitment?
I know.
I'm pretty sick of you, but you're willing to talk to me a second time. Can you believe that?
I cried for 2 hours before we started because I didn't want to do it.
Right. Because I keep sending you those mirrors to hang up in your home. Right?
You keep sending me bits of rope and a knife for some reason. I don't get what that's all about.
For your knife sculpturing class, you know?
Samuel, I dropped out of that class.
Well, we took it together. The teacher said you practice on rope.
Samuel, I only went once. They didn't tell me anything.
Well,
who have you been going with?
To be fair, you went with my twin brother, so.
Wait, you have a twin?
So
how many kids do I have?
So what's going on in your life, Cameron?
It's finals week, and I am a decrepit, disheveled man. More so than usual.
Well, you do it pretty dramatically.
I have a final at 7:30 a.m. on Saturday. Kill me now.
Right.
And I have nothing else to report yet until we start talking about our videos.
Okay. I, for one, did school on Monday and have done none of my assignments, and they will all be done tomorrow. So that will be fun. Nothing like 4 days of work for 1 day of work. It's my favorite kind of work.
Oh, I love it. I love waiting until 2 hours before an essay is due that, has to be like 1,000 words and just going at it.
I also spent 5 days on a 5-minute video, but it wasn't like 5 1-minute, sessions of just editing it. It was more like just every day, constantly just trying to get 5 seconds done and then quitting and then coming back to it.
That sounds like you.
It was horrible, and it had my friends very worried because they know that I make very short videos. So for 5 days in a row at about the afternoon, they would ask me what I'm doing, and I would just say editing every single day. I thought they probably thought I was working on some kind of manifesto about the Bible or something, but it just ended up being a 5-minute video about the League of Legends cartoon.
I am working on my dissertation on my theology of the Bible.
Right.
Samuel Pogue.
I'm just here to make my next set of conspiracy theories for white trash people to believe,
So you mean all of our family?
Well, excluding us, because we believe in the real theories,
Yeah, that there is no moon.
God is a homeless man living in Virginia. He's one of us.
I thought that was Elvis.
He's burning the world slowly, and he's going to be here with us to feel the pain because he's also guilty about it. Because that's the truth. Open your eyes, sheeple. Take the tinfoil off your head. Everybody who's actually someone knows that doesn't work, and take off your foreskin like the rest of us, because that's the real immunity.
Starting off with some hot takes tonight.
I don't know what you mean by hot takes. Clearly someone doesn't want to go to the afterlife.
Why would I want Samuel? Why would I want to go to the afterlife when you are there?
Next, you're going to tell me that you get 72 virgins in the afterlife. Everybody knows it's men. Because it really wouldn't be paradise if it wasn't.
Oh, we may have to cut that part out.
You know, there are many members of my family who unironically believe that I'm going to come out one day.
Wow, I have gotten that a
Like,
lot too.
Unironically, my incredibly progressive and very supportive grandmother constantly thinks it.
I mean, I have been told by several of the groups I'm in at my college that they think my shirts are gay and they think I'm going to come out as gay. These are not mean people. Most of them are, ironically enough,
Most of
gay
them wish
people
you would come out.
themselves.
Most of them
Most,
want a piece of that Pope pie, you know?
I don't think any of them want a piece of this pie, but Samuel, please stop thinking about me like that.
With or without whipped cream. For the gay people who are listening to this, whipped cream is much funnier than the straight people. That didn't make sense.
What are you talking about?
It was a semen joke.
Oh my god.
What cartoon are we talking about today?
I don't know, but I know I need to wash your mouth out with soap.
Okay, you know what? I haven't finished it, but I am literally maybe 30 minutes off of finishing an episode of it, so we might as well talk about it.
Inside Job?
Inside
It's
Job.
good, isn't it?
It's great. And okay. Why?
So let us give you the context of this.
Okay.
Inside Job is a new Netflix show that was released, I think, about a month ago, that is mainly about what it would be like if you had a bunch of office workers working at a company.
My conspiracy joke was smart.
Be quiet.
No.
Be quiet when I go in there.
Conspiracy joke is on topic.
Let me finish. Let me finish it. But it's office workers working at a company that controls all of the world's conspiracies. And it's just really funny.
Oh man. Richard Pryor who? I mean
if you think you will ever be as funny as Richard Pryor.
Oh man, I would just get too sticky and leather. I can't.
What are you talking about?
I think I'm thinking of Martin Lawrence.
I think I'm thinking of Richard Gere.
I don't even know.
Do you know what he was accused of?
Something bad.
Do you want to know what it was?
Yes.
It's just not true, but there was a rumor that he inserted a hamster somewhere within his body.
Pleasurably?
Maybe for him, but certainly not for the hamster.
If I was the hamster, I'd be loving it.
Please note, we do not condone bestiality, homophobia, or anything hateful.
Is it vor if it's going inside the other hole?
Wait, what?
I will repeat. Is it vor if it's going in the other hole?
Vor?
Does it have to be through the mouth to be vor?
No, I believe it went in through the cavity.
So it's vor.
I don't know.
Oh no.
I can't comment on that. Like I said, that room is just not true. I don't know where that started.
Oh man.
I think it just fits well when we're talking about conspiracies and stuff.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Actually, so what are some of your favorite conspiracies, Samuel?
My favorite conspiracies. Oh, there's so many of them. I think the moon landing has to be a personal favorite.
Yes.
Moon landing. And not even moon landing. I want to take that back. My actual favorite one has got to be flat earthers, because just chef's kiss to these people and the ways that they can just entertain me every day. Like, it feels like every day you just stumble upon a new YouTube video from a different flat earther trying to disprove the round earth, but then disproves themselves with their math. It happens all the time.
Oh my god, dude. Flat earthers are so I was in for a time a flat earther group on Facebook. Don't call me a boomer. It was terrible. It was full of anti-science, anti-vaxxers,
Oh man.
just some of the worst scum of humanity, you know.
And it really leads to really horrible life situations. Because me personally, I went through a very, very horrible experience. I was at work, okay, already bad, So I'm
I
just
had to get up that morning,
I I had to be a person in the world. It was awful. And you know me, I'm working. I'm working and I'm just trying to stock some shelves, just not think thoughts and just hope that the shift in time will just speed up the more I zone out from the world around me. And then out in front of me walks gorgeous woman, long flowing brown hair. She got a jean jacket, she's got high heels.
And she ignored you because you won't ever get a gorgeous woman.
Smells like an angel's first burp as a baby,
What kind of description is that, Samuel?
All I see, but I've only seen her back so far. So all I've seen is this jacket and the hair and the shoes.
Hold on, let me take a guess what happens.
And how she smells. And I'm actually not making this up.
And she has a flat earther shirt.
You meet all kinds of people constantly. She turns around and just flat earther, loud and proud on the front of her shirt.
Oh God. I mean, Samuel, I can sympathize with you. I don't know if I told you this story. You guys have no idea of knowing this, but I actually work in public health. I've done vaccine clinics. I helped scribe during the COVID stuff. And there are two stories I want to talk about.
Okay.
We got a call one day, one of our surveillance officers, and it went like this. They're talking, and the guy asks this question. He says, "Do they really put microchips in the vaccines?"
Right. Sprinkle it in like salt,
Oh, yeah. Oh, well, what I like to do is I like to, while they're not looking after we've given them the shot, just slap their arm and put it in. That's how I prefer to do it.
It's when you have to fart in class, so you try to drop the book. So you're dropping slapping them with a microchip and farting.
That I get my frying pan, I hit them on the head, and then I put the vaccine chip in there. And when they wake up, I say, "Oh, you did really good." Yeah, Looney Tunes style. Then here's the second one. This is the one that I really hated.
Okay.
We got another call that said if we did not stop giving people vaccines, we would be put on trial at the Nuremberg trials.
Okay.
Do you know what those are, Samuel?
I do not. I don't really engage in politics.
Well, it's more history than anything. But after World War II, they had to figure out what they were going to do with many of these high-ranking Nazis who had been responsible for the previous war and many of the atrocities committed in it.
But it's also decades later.
Wait, what?
Yeah, so I'm kind of getting it. So the court cases, they're having to deal with these Nazis, but it's also decades later. So it's
actually it was only a few years later for most.
Oh, really? So this isn't those court cases where it's like a 90-year-old man.
Most of the time, those cases happen because they managed to avoid capture for a long time. But what the Nuremberg trials was just like very shortly after World War II ended, they went to Nuremberg, Germany. There's some significance, and they put them on trial there for the war crimes they committed.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what it was. So they wanted to put us up there, and I wanted to tell them, you don't even have the right trials. We would not be put up there.
Right.
That would... You can't even get your conspiracies right about what you're going to do to us.
Right. I have a parking ticket. And then the police tell me that, I'm being charged with the same things that Bill Cosby was charged because that's, law.
I mean, that's essentially what it is. They're trying to accuse us of something completely wild.
Exactly.
the court they wanted to send you to would have no jurisdiction.
I've only done half of Bill Cosby's things.
Delete that. Please note, we do not condone anything Bill Cosby did. He is a terrible man.
I know. We condone you being funny.
Samuel, this is why you're single.
I don't think Bill Cosby's funny. This is why I'm single.
I think you're not single for a lot of reasons.
He went to jail because Bill Cosby was a lady killer. So
no, that was, I was gonna say O.J. Simpson, but he didn't go to jail.
Well, I mean, rightfully. There's another one of my conspiracy theories. O.J. didn't do it.
In the words of Roy McDonald, O.J. made it a problem day when his attorney tried on the glove that they found at the scene, and O.J. went, "Hey, that's my glove. I've been looking for that." I don't know how we got. Let's just recap all we've said so far.
We're talking about Inside Job.
Yeah, how did we get this off track? Samuel, you're gonna have to do some serious editing on this one.
Oh, I didn't even edit the last one.
Idiot.
Well, because if I do edit that one, like we lose like 20 minutes of footage.
Well, don't worry, we'll probably be on this one for a while. So.
Oh yeah, you're right.
I think what we could do. Well, I'm gonna have this one as a backup.
Maybe because this one's tamer.
Shut up.
I can't wait for when me and Chris do an episode together. We told each other we were gonna do one in like the next 2 days, I think.
Oh God.
That one's gonna be fantastic.
Oh God.
You know what's gonna be better is a day when we all do a podcast in person.
May God have mercy on my soul.
We'll put on what, like Mac and Me or like ET or something.
Oh no.
Oh, it'll be great. Oh, you know what?
How about
we
Christmas mail?
You know what we could watch that would be very fun?
What?
Watch Enter the Shadowlands is I believe what it's called.
I don't know what that is.
The new Nick Cage movie where Nick Cage is a ninja with dynamite strapped to his balls. It is Nick Cage's job to rescue the president's daughter, or he's getting sent back to jail for his murder charges and his balls get blown off.
I think if they blow off his balls, he's probably going to die.
It's Suicide Squad, basically, but Nick Cage as a ninja.
I mean, I'm surprised to hear Nick Cage was still alive.
I wanted to see it in the theater so badly, and then it wasn't in the theaters anymore, and then I haven't gotten around to it yet, but I want to see it very badly. So, Inside Job.
Yes, it's a good show. I mean, we get very off track, so
we're going in like it. The structure for this podcast is Rainbow Road. You know, it's a weirdly shaped circle, but it gets there.
Anyway, all right, back on track.
Okay, my favorite thing about this show has to be the voice cast. It's so good.
Good voice cast.
It's so good. It's Alec Hirsch doing adult humor, and at first you're like, "That's a horrible idea."
It works very well.
Alex Hirsch's comedy style is so unique and is so him, and he's successful because it's for everyone. Don't mess with that. But then he's doing this, and it's great. It's fine. I mean,
this is the same guy though who had written the joke. Man, it's creepy.
I'm sure he's not
as creepy as Dipper's internet history.
Oh, we're gonna throw in a Gravity Falls joke there. Relevant.
I mean, that's what he started out on. So I'd say yes, it is relevant.
There are some very risque jokes in Gravity Falls for a Disney Channel show. They'll do like bra humor and stuff.
Yeah, they had some weird ones. It reminds me of like SpongeBob with the panty raid. How did that get in there?
And then me and several other first graders unironically wanted to go on panty raids thinking it would turn us into men.
Oh my god,
What did that
Samuel.
actually do to children? Really?
Oh.
I remember it was I it was I won't say their real names. It was like me, and they do have very white names. So I'll say like Dawson and Craig. Like me, my best friends in pre-K, Dawson and Craig. We would like we would play Power Rangers and Beyblades and Bakugan, and we would watch SpongeBob and Avatar. And when we watched SpongeBob, we would see the Panty Raid episode. And I mean, we would look at big kids like fifth graders, and we would be like, I bet they do Panty Raid, fat ass fifth graders, I want to be a fifth grader one day. I'll be cool forever. Look back on my 32, year old self and be like, man, I was a kick ass fifth grader.
Oh
So
god.
we thought Panty Raids are how you do it.
There's so much wrong with that story. I mean, for one, there's no such thing as a kick-ass fifth grader.
You can't tell me you weren't like the weirdest kindergartner ever. Everybody's so weird as a kindergartner.
Dude, I just remember when I was in kindergarten, we had a reading loft in my classroom, and it was like right up to the ceiling. Big enough for like a kid's our size to get into it. And I remember I was getting ready to like climb out of it one day, and I was getting to the ladder, and and before I could even turn around, I just feel a hand on my back, and I go flying down.
Wait, what happened?
Yeah, the kid who was behind me pushed me off.
What? Okay, I can't even say that your class was violent though, because we had some crazy stuff happen in my kindergarten class. I don't know.
We went to different schools for kindergarten, so.
Dude, I was in Shallow Water. Shallow Water was just.
I was out in North Richland Hills, so.
I remember some of the things that they would let us do there that were just. What did they think of us? We were the weirdest kids. I swear.
I mean, you're still incredibly weird, but.
They ruined me forever. I'm permanently a kindergartner. It's awful.
I'd say you're more like a 12-year-old.
I remember, and this is still a mystery to me. We had a Beyblade, and there was like a gopher hole in the playground that like a gopher dug. The gopher didn't live in there anymore, or whatever like dirt rodent lives in Texas, gopher or like groundhog or whatever it is. We just had this big hole that an animal made, and someone dropped a Beyblade in there. And for the rest of the year, we were all taking turns just sticking our arms in this hole, hoping today's the day we can reach the Beyblade. But we were also scared that the gopher will bite off your hand. So it was this constant like in and out motion, thinking we could dodge the gopher and try to get the Beyblade. And so I'm just thinking of myself as a teacher, as this group of just like 6 children aren't talking to any of the other kids on like swings and playing jumping jacks. No, it's these 6 children just frantically squirming their arms in this hole, taking it out and letting the next kid go every day trying to get this Beyblade. I think Logan was there for that. I'd have to ask him if he remembers.
I mean, I wasn't there for that. I was so much older than you.
Oh yeah, it's kind of crazy how old you are.
I mean, what year were you in kindergarten? Like 2008?
2008 was pre-K. I was in kindergarten in 2009.
Yeah, so I'd already been out of kindergarten for like 3 years.
Oh wow.
And keep in mind, I did 2 years of first grade, so don't want to brag or anything.
The other day I was talking to someone at work, and I told him that I was in pre-K when Netflix was first invented. Like not DVD Netflix, like streaming Netflix. We had it on like a Roku. And I told him I was in pre-K when that happened. And he said I made him feel so old, and he hated it.
Samuel, do you want to hear something that's going to age me a bit?
What's that?
I remember going to Blockbuster regularly, by the way. Like it was still pretty strong when I first got to Lubbock. I remember doing that. I then remember Netflix DVDs starting and doing that for a couple of years. And then I remember it ending and it becoming full on streaming. I've lived through like all of it.
Even though I was very young when streaming Netflix first happened, I do remember DVD Netflix very well. I remember my mom had a laptop and she would have to go on netflix.com and she would scroll through the lists of the movies and it would come in your mailbox. I remember that.
I remember. I mean, I don't know. This is probably just nostalgia for me, but there was just something that was so fun about going to Blockbuster as a kid, you know?
I never actually went to Blockbuster.
I did.
I ever did was use a Redbox.
So what I would do a lot since, I was like 4, we would go to this Blockbuster not too far from where I would live. I would always go straight to the Scooby-Doo movies. Or then when I got a little older, it was always Pokemon. There was always something. I loved it.
Scooby-Doo's just a lifelong obsession for you.
It is, Samuel. I mean,
you should try this Scooby-Doo board game I bought a couple months ago.
Whoa. You have a Scooby-Doo board game and you didn't tell me about it?
Well, it's not actually Scooby-Doo. It's like a spin-off of a board game franchise called the Haunted House on the Hill or something like that. It's got
a haunted house.
Ooh. It's pretty much, it's actually very fun. Every game is completely different because there's no actual playing map that you play on. You have like a pile of squares, and as you move your character, you take these squares randomly and you build the playmat with them. So every playmat's completely new and different because the squares will get shuffled around and stuff.
That is very interesting.
And so you're slowly trying to build up the map. And since the squares are random, you never know when it'll be your turn and you find a clue or not. And then once you find a certain amount of clues, I think it's whoever found the specific clue that you needed for the mystery you were doing, that person actually becomes the twist villain and tries to, like, if you were playing a Scooby is now the actual twist villain and is trying to murder the rest of the Scooby gang.
Time to die, Raggy.
Yeah. But the thing that sucks is you would think to yourself like, oh, that's got to be horrible because now it's like 1 versus 4. But then like the rule book tries its best try to make you as like powerful as possible with all these like buffed up stats. Like you're way more ridiculously strong than any
so you got the Chad and then you got the 4 version.
Yeah, but that's still never enough, and whoever has become the villain has never won before in like any game that I've ever played. Even when I've had the chance to be the villain when we've played this game, I've always lost. So being the villain is still so unfair, and it makes the game really boring.
So with that in mind, then, talking about games, do you remember the old plug and play games that they used to have?
You mean like a box that came with controllers that you could buy that had 100 games on it?
No. So what it was is, say for like, I'm gonna use Scooby-Doo as an example. That's the one I had. You would have this little controller, like Scooby-Doo one. It was the mystery machine, and then the controls were on it, and you would plug it into your TV. At
Toys R Us,
and you would just play that, and it had some preloaded games on it. And oh man, I'm making myself feel so old.
I miss Toys R Us all the time.
I know they shut down the one where we live. I never really got to go into Toys R Us, so I wanted to do it more as I got older. Because I'm a massive nerd.
Toys R Us was such a special place for me because it would be like a Saturday, and your mom was like, "Hey, we have 1,000,000 errands to do in town," and you're like, "Oh, it's Saturday. No, I want to be home. I want my cartoons. Blah blah blah."
I know.
And your mom was like, "Okay, if you don't distract me, and you're just fast and you're quiet and I can get my errands done quickly, I will take you to Toys R Us. Not to buy anything, but I will just let you run rampant and window shop in this Toys R Us without free time. My mom, every 2 months, it would just happen where my mom's like, I'm very busy. If we can get these errands done fast, you can just hang out in the coolest place on the planet. And it was a done deal.
My parents were boomers, so we didn't really get to do that.
Oh, what?
Yeah, it would be, we have errands to do, we do them, and then we go home.
Oh man, I remember like we would go to Toys R Us, and my birthday's always been in December. So like anytime we were going to Toys R Us, I would like loudly exclaim which toys I wanted, because like I needed to give my parents lots of options because they have a birthday and a Christmas to deal with very close together. So it's just like, I want this big list and cut it in half for 2 days. And I remember them just like, there was one year where I told them specifically what I wanted and they got none of the toys right. And I was very upset. It was a horrible 7th birthday or something like that. I think it was Lego Ninjago or something like that. And I wanted the Lego set that was like the Green Ninja, and he had a giant motorcycle, and it was really cool. And I wanted the Green Ninja motorcycle, and I think they ended up getting like the Ice Ninja's robot suit.
Don't you talk shit about Zane.
Well, 7-year-old me is gonna fight you on that because I was so mad because the Green Ninja motorbike was what I wanted, and I got the robot suit, and it was awful.
But blame your parents, not him.
It's not even a bad memory anymore. I look back and I'm just like, wow, I was such an awful kid. Why?
You were a spoiled brat.
I was a horrible child.
You still are.
I know. The way that I thought about things back then, like that's honestly mind-blowing that something as dumb as just like, we're out of string cheese. I will hate life forever now. Like, we don't have string cheese and I'm hungry and I want a snack.
My world is ending.
And we don't have string cheese, and all we have for a snack are these like gross cuties oranges that are only in the house because my other brothers like them and I hate eating them, and I still don't like oranges. They're sour and horrible and stringy, and oranges are awful. And I was never in a million years going to eat this orange as a snack, and we don't have string cheese, and now I'm going to starve.
You were a dramatic child, you know that?
It's why theater fit me so well.
James must have been just trying to scout you.
Oranges are still gross.
I love the color, but I don't like the fruit.
They're just, every time I've ever tried to eat an orange, it's either advertised as seedless and is full of seeds. Then you take a bite of it and it's just like sour. And then you're trying to chew it and it's like a tough piece of steak that's just constantly in your mouth like gum, that's like never actually like getting broken down in your mouth. It's just staying chewy for some reason. They're gross.
I feel that.
I don't get it.
See, I'm just glad I am out of my edgy junior high phase. The one you're still in.
Still?
As you can tell by the beginning of this episode, but I think back, it was so bad, the stupid stuff we would say. Like,
I'm still not ashamed. What? Dabbing, respect whammon, T-posing.
No. See, that stuff was funny. I'm talking about the edgy stuff.
Okay.
Like when we would make just these terrible jokes, we would bully people, and if you didn't do this in junior high, you were a saint. Like,
oh no, my junior high was just, what's 9 plus 10? Entire building laughs. That was my junior high.
Did we go to the same junior high, Samuel?
Yeah, I went to Slayton High.
Okay, I don't remember half the time.
You would definitely have been in high school before I even started there.
Well, you would have been in 5th grade.
When you were
when I was a freshman.
Oh yeah.
Because you started high school when I was a senior.
Yeah.
Oh my god. Okay, so here's something then that I know you will remember. Why did some of the bathrooms at Slayton not have doors on the stalls.
Because they were torn off.
No, I'm calling BS.
Because I mean, we know it's possible with the whole devious licks trend.
Yeah, but these were off like 8 years before devious licks.
I mean, they were still possible 8 years ago.
I mean, I would not
You
be
probably
surprised
had a lot less clout.
by Slayton. We were not very well behaved children.
We were horrible.
I'm gonna say this now: junior high kids suck.
You know
They
what's
really do.
crazy? We're still not even close to what some of these other classes are capable of. I've been hearing about it a lot because I still have friends over at that high school, and they will tell me things that
These kids scare me.
they're absolutely insane. Some of the things freshmen. I remember me as a freshman, okay? Just this
You were mildly annoying at best.
I was just this whirlwind of constant repeating internet jokes and just anxiety and self-hatred.
I remember that.
And it was like a hot front and a cold front, constantly making this like hurricane of just violent joke, emotion, disgustingness. And I would just rampage the hallways of that high school with my lack of deodorant and self-confidence.
I especially remember that point.
Oh yeah, I have. How is it that the only time I've ever had a girlfriend was freshman year high school? When
I don't know.
When that was my worst with deodorant. I could not create that habit to save the life of the family cat. Like,
okay, this is some advice to any junior high kids, guys especially.
I could wear it in junior
high. Wear deodorant.
I could wear it in junior high. Freshman year me just destroyed all of his good habits and had to like recreate them, and there's no explanation for it at all.
Don't be like Samuel.
But okay, I'm talking about freshman me because I'm remembering like there's things in my head that I thought that I would be capable of doing that I would never have been able to be like capable of doing. Like
the old freshman dilemma of thinking I'm going to come in on top.
There were kids like freshman year who were just like, yeah, man, like I totally just lost my virginity. And I'd be like, oh yeah, if I had the chance, I would totally like pwn. No, I wouldn't. I would have been so scared, so self-conscious.
You would have been crying.
I wouldn't have even known. Like I probably would have sat there and we would probably be halfway done taking off our clothes. And then I wouldn't want to be the one who chickened out, and I would constantly try to make it her idea to chicken out of doing it. I think that's what it would be. It would have been me trying to pull some like mind sabotage onto her to make her feel bad about doing it. I would have done that.
I mean,
like just that's how I would have reacted back then, and it's how I will react now, ladies. So
here's some advice to high schoolers to avoid situations like that. Don't worry about being cool. Like, if you're not comfortable with something, just don't do it and don't let people bully you for it. Stand up for yourself.
It makes no sense. But I would have never been capable of it freshman year high school. The freshmen at the high school now have a actual orgy that they were in. It's videotaped and has been spread across the
I don't want to hear about that.
Like 11, it was like 9 to 11 kids got together.
No.
Yeah.
Well,
I've never seen it. I have a friend who claims to have seen it and vouches that it really exists.
I want to call BS that is like just a rumor.
Multiple people claim to have seen it, and it's not like the freshmen in high school claiming to have seen it. It's like my close friends who are like, yeah, that got sent to me, or like, yeah, that was on someone's Snap story.
Why?
Yeah.
Oh.
Freshman years. Could freshman you have actually been capable of that?
No, freshman year sucked for me. Like, so freshman year was actually the only year I wasn't at Slayton for the full year.
When you say that you're worried for these children. I'm like worried with you. We can both just be like huddled in our little tent in an alleyway claiming it's the apocalypse. Like,
Here's the difference, though, Samuel. Your goal isn't to go back and teach them.
oh no.
Mine is.
Oh man. I think I need to do like erase any trace of my face like completely off the internet. Just so if you ever get a teaching job and like I'm sure your record is squeaky clean, but then they're like, why are you associating with him? You can just be like, oh, you can just be like, Google him. You can't prove he's real or anything.
They just pull out a yearbook from when we were in school together.
No, it's not even a yearbook. It's like the most cursed, blurry photo they could possibly find of me.
It's that really bad meme we had of you from the pep rally. Where we just zoomed in on your face.
Oh, it's the derp.
Oh, I don't know if I put that one on the theater page or not, but I should have.
Oh, the worst part is I still look like that. It'd be so easy to find.
You look worse than that.
Oh no. Hey, that's actually mean. I'll have you know my skin's a bit better than it was back then.
But your face is still uglier.
Yeah, there's still the unrepairable things.
I mean, the worst part is just the personality, let's be honest.
Oh, and just like my weird way of walking and talking and
yeah, I know. You walk like SpongeBob whenever he was walking down the street to the music.
Not to mention my right eye will just begin to like wander in another direction, so eye contact is impossible.
I mean, you inherited the eye from me, obviously, because I have that problem too.
Sometimes I can make it dance.
I remember in high school you pointing out my lazy eye, you asshole.
Oh, it's obvious.
Like no one had pointed it out before.
It. I still can't unsee it. Like I won't mention it, but like there will just be times where we're hanging out and we made eye contact, and I'm like, oh, it's still there, and because it is.
God, you asshole. Yeah, like I said, Samuel is still in that edgy phase.
Oh man,
he'll grow out of it. I hope.
I mean, you've sent me the photos of how I dress when I hang out with you. That's when I'm at my most fashionable. I have sunglasses on my face. And
wait. Hold up a minute.
I know you still have the photos. I've got them on my phone too.
You call that fashion?
Oh man, I'm so good looking. I guarantee it. You know, the worst part is I don't even have those shades anymore.
Good.
I broke them.
I mean,
oh yeah, here it is. It's a sticker. I found it. Oh, you want to talk about fashion though? I was the only man at prom with a fedora.
Well, Samuel, the good news is I didn't go to prom with you, so
I was really awkward at prom.
Send me that screenshot.
Which screenshot?
The one you were just talking about.
Me at prom?
No, the one before that.
The one with me in sunglasses?
Yes, and the prom one, actually.
Both of them are saved on Snapchat. I'm scrolling through it.
Send them.
Scroll up in our chat. They're still there.
Oh, wait, they're there?
Yeah, scroll up right next to the Evan sticker.
He hates that sticker.
Oh, I know. I still can't believe he's a dad.
Oh my God, I can't either. Like, I remember him in like second grade, and it's just so weird seeing anyone I know being a parent.
It's so crazy to think. You know Alex from high school?
Yes, you told me about this.
Getting married, and I'm doing a speech at her wedding. She asked me to.
Amazing.
Like, that's so unbelievable to me. It's crazy.
I mean,
because me and Alex have managed to stay close over the years.
I mean, I will keep up with her. The problem is, I'll talk to her for a while, then I will lose track and not talk to her. I'm bad about keeping up with people.
It's hard. Like, and it's weird the people who I've stayed good with keeping track of. Like, I have no problem keeping track of like old McDonald's coworkers who I never see anymore. But then like I'll look down at someone who was like one of my best friends ever in high school, and I haven't talked to them in years, and it's like, huh, it's kind of weird where your relationships actually end up.
I mean, even me and you keeping in contact as much as we have is
This doesn't
surprising.
surprise me.
I
This
don't know.
this was like the one thing where I was just like, oh yeah, we're stuck with each other till death. Ugh. It's like
Stuck is the right word.
Ebenezer Scrooge chained us together, and even when we're dead, we're ghosts chained together, and that's our.
I believe it was Morley who was actually chained together.
Oh no, Ebenezer. I'm a believer that he's only good that one day, and then goes back to being a dick.
Look, I think we're all forgetting the real meaning of Christmas.
Ugh.
Scaring the shit out of rich people.
Humbug. I did it bad, and you didn't tell me it had to be for a day. Oh man,
you didn't say how long I had to do it for.
That's my Jim Carrey voice. You can tell I worked hard on it.
Perfect. 10 out of 10.
I know. What was that scratch noise? Yikes.
That is my chair.
You sounded like TV static.
My dog is being weird.
Watch me make a McDonald's Sprite joke, and it's funny.
You are a McDonald's Sprite.
You know what I think is absolutely ridiculous as two people who have worked at McDonald's?
What?
McDonald's official statement for why they say that their Sprite tastes better than most places is because they have better water filtration.
Okay. It's kind of a weird flex.
Name one time we saw a water filtration system in our McDonald's.
Name one time we didn't immediately see our machines break.
Always broken.
Like,
well, that's the thing that sucks is now that I'm not like some Joe Schmo worker, I'm like an actual maintenance guy. When machines break, it's me fixing them. And I don't know anything. Me fixing the machine is me watching YouTube videos and doing my best. It's horrible.
I love it.
Oh man. So we haven't talked about Inside Job at all.
No, that's the problem, is that me and you will say we're going to talk about something, but we don't. We just like to talk and we mess around. So here's the thing. What's probably going to end up happening, this is my guess, this podcast, we'll say it started off mainly to talk about cartoons and stuff like that. And then by like episode 5, it'll just be whatever comes to mind.
Well, I want to keep it cartoon focused. I'm going to do my best. I think me and Chris's episode of being cartoon focused, quote unquote, will probably just be us going PETA the whole time,
Oh God.
That's our cartoon.
Yeah. Chris isn't the biggest cartoon man.
No, but he is a much bigger cinephile than I thought he was.
Dude.
We that's one of the ways that we reconnected was we'll just talk about movie opinions and directors that we like. And it's always like he'll talk about the directors he likes. And I'm like, oh, I know all of them. Here's the directors I like, and he knows none of them. So I'm the way more educated fan, clearly.
I mean, I'm taking an intro to film class and I still don't know anything. So
what have they been teaching you?
They've taught us like some editing stuff, early Hollywood. It's like just more of an overview class.
Oh, so it's like Humphrey Bogart and stuff?
I don't think we talked about him. I know we talked about the Great Train Robbery and a lot of the silent films. We watched a Chaplin film. Okay. We did
see, I don't know too much about that early, but if you want to go into like, Humphrey Bogart and Hitchcock and
that's like the 60s. Like we talk a lot in this class, like early film, like Edison when he first started.
You know what my absolute favorite early film is of all time?
What?
Haunted Mansion.
Haunted Mansion.
So incredible. And it's weird how famous it is. Like, not a lot of people know about it, but then there's all kinds of like cartoon specials, and even like the Muppets made a special this year doing a spoof of Haunted Mansion. And me and my mom watched it together, and it's so good. It's so good. I absolutely love it because it has the most ridiculous ending ever. It's like, okay, so to summarize the movie, it's this like extravagant millionaire, right? And he's
Mhm.
trying to think of something interesting to do with his money. And so he decides that he has a mansion. He owns multiple mansions. He has one that he's never lived in before because he claims that it's haunted. And so he decides that him, his wife, and then 5 guests can all stay in this haunted mansion together. And as long as they stay the whole night, they get $100,000 or something like that, right?
Uh-huh.
And I love it because it is everything you could possibly want from a horror movie like that from the 50s. It has, just this crazy, ridiculous.
Concept. Dude, that's the thing about 50s horror though in general. It's
They knew,
just so out there.
they knew how to pick their leading men in the 50s, though. Because when I'm talking like this guy has like a jaw, like this man is just like Rasputin or something. Just like the most manly face I've ever seen in my life. And he's just standing around in his like cool, perfectly fitted suit. And this one girl comes in, and I think she was like a reporter. And she was like, I'm a reporter and I have a fiance, and I'm here to see if this mansion really is fiancé or something. And then
Fiancé?
fiancé, yeah. And then all it takes is like this guy to go, like, how's it going, sugar lips? And all of a sudden she's just like clinged to him the whole movie, crazy horned up in love with him forever, the whole movie after that.
Oh
Just
my
constant.
god. 50s romance is so bad.
But then it's like weird because then the other, let's see, that's 2 characters. So then there's the other 2 of the 5 who are just very forgettable. I don't remember them at all. They weren't good. And then there's this one guy who claims that they shouldn't be staying in this house, that the ghosts are all going to murder them, and he's only here to like reconcile for his mistakes or something like that, and sits around the whole movie just getting drunk and interacting with nobody. And it's weird because you have like cheesy romance, 2 very forgettable characters that like aren't interesting, and then this guy who's talking about the ghosts and drinking the whole movie is killing it. His acting is so good. Like the whole time me and my mom were watching it, and he's barely in the movie, and then he'll pop up for this one scene and we're like cheering because we just want more of this guy. Because even his face, he's got such an interesting face that you just want to like look at and hear words come out of. And he's just doing so good. We're loving everything that he's doing with his acting. And then he just like had a couple things to say, and then he's off, in his drunken stupor and doesn't want to do anything. And they just leave him alone. And it's just like, we want more of that guy. He was so good. And then he's gone again. And it was just the ending, because they're not staying in the house because the millionaire wants to find some way to use his money. The millionaire has like a secret reason for all those people being in the house. And when you hear what the reason is, it's the most 1950s reason you could possibly have.
Okay,
And
major spoiler alert, even though it's a movie from
I
the
won't
50s.
spoil it. Nobody should
No.
have this movie spoiled. Not even you. I won't.
Okay, what is this movie called? Because I need to watch this.
Haunted Mansion.
Didn't Disney have a Haunted Mansion movie, but it had nothing to do like anything with that?
I'm not sure.
With like Eddie Murphy, it's terrible from what I remember, but
I don't know what you're talking about.
yeah, don't watch it. It's not worth your time. Now, with all that said, we are starting to come up on time, Samuel.
We are.
So, would you like to lead us out?
So this was our review of Inside Job.
where we talked about Inside Job. Not at all.
We loved Inside Job. Thumbs
It
up.
was good, but we get distracted.
Thumbs up for Inside Job. Very good. Any closing remarks that you have to say?
I really love the point with a giant squid. Watch out for my
I'm not
channel.
that far into the show.
For a book review.
I'm on episode 4 if you're actually spoiling the show.
No,
Okay.
I don't think there is. No, watch out for my channel. I should have a video coming up soon, just kind of briefly discussing the book I've been reading over Calvin Coolidge. That should hopefully be fun. Maybe Samuel will watch it and learn something. I don't know.
Hey.
So.
And we have the ads for the podcast that are coming up. I've got 2.
Oh, yes.
I'm wanting to put
we won't talk too much.
Wanting to put an ad on your channel and my channel. Hopefully they're both 2 different skits and that they'll be good. Hopefully.
We'll figure it out. But keep a watch out for those. Those should be fun. That's all. Bye-bye, guys.
Oh, that was abrupt. I'm not even ready to